Good morning, students. In the last class we have discussed defining a member function. There are two ways to defining a member function. One is defining a member function inside the class. Another one is defining a member function outside the class. In the yesterday's class we discussed defining a member function inside the class or defining a member function inside the class like a normal function. Those normal functions is similar to your inline functions. What is the syntax for that? Return type specifier, function name, argument, and there is no termination. There is no termination. Please remember, there is a body for the particular function. That means the task what we need to do, that code is enclosed within this parenthesis, flower braces. So yesterday I have given one example also. Just now I have written only input function, output not written. So two data members have been declared and one member function, that is your input function. Input function I have been defined inside the class. What is the class? Class name. What is the class name? Student is a class name. A student class contains S number and S name as the data members. For this example, I have been given only one function, that is input or input data. Anything can be written. So input I have taken as a one member function. That member function where I have been defined inside the class only. Inside the class only, within the class scope, that is like a normal function. Like a normal function. Yesterday's class we have finished. So that is the revision of yesterday's class. Today we will move for the defining a member function outside the class. If you want to define the member function outside the class, first declaration is compulsory. That declaration has to be done inside the class. Declaring the member function inside the class and defining the member function outside the class. Please remember the word. Declaring the member function inside the class, defining that member function outside the class definition that we are discussing now. If you want to define the member function outside the class, we need our new operator, that is scope resolution operator. What is this? Scope resolution operator. Two colons togetherly without a space. Do you remember in the front of the private we are typing one colon? Yes. Two colons togetherly gives you scope resolution operator. If you want to define the member function outside the class definition, we need the help of scope resolution operator. Why we need this scope resolution operator? This operator will provide a global accessibility. Scope resolution operator will provide global accessibility to the local variables which is declared inside the class. What are the local variables here? S name and S number, and those member functions what we have been defined inside, declared inside the class can be accessed outside as globally with the help of scope resolution operator. Did you got it? And also it tells the compiler a particular member function belongs to which class. It also tells the compiler to a member function belongs to which class. It is also called as a membership identity label. It is also called as membership identity label to identify the member function belongs to which particular class during compilation time. During compilation time. That is your defining a member function outside the class. Defining a member function outside the class using scope resolution operator. Scope resolution operator. Scope resolution operator. Only one sentence you need to write. Defining a member function outside the class using scope resolution operator. How to write the syntax for this? And please remember the student, one thing I will tell you. From the classes and objects, first listen the class once completely without any disturbance. Listen the class completely. Copy down the notes. Then once again listen the class. Please do it. Definitely you will understand that concept very well. Listen once, copy the notes, then listen once with the help of your class book. Okay students? And while writing, please remember, whatever you will write, the header of the syntax should not break down. It should be in a single line. Write the syntax in the above line. Below in the margin, start written type, specifier, written type specifier. Here you need to write class name, scope resolution operator. Here one space and no space between the class name, scope resolution operator, then function name. Which function? Member function name. It may or may not be argument. If there is no argument, no argument within the parenthesis. If it is any argument, write argument inside the parenthesis and write the body of this. This is your syntax. Please compare both the syntaxes. Here between we have added something. What we have added? This much. Class name and scope resolution operator. Written type specifier, function name below the body that we are use this syntax to define inside the class. When we are writing outside, we should identify this function is belong to which particular class. For that, we are giving what? Membership identity label. Membership identity label in front of the member function. What is the membership identity we have given? Class name. That means this function belongs to which particular class, and the connectivity will be established between the member function and the class with the help of scope resolution operator that will allows you to access the local variables which is declared inside the class globally outside the class definition. Outside the class definition. Did you got the students? So please remember, either this question or this question is important for 5 marks. Once the classes get commenced, these two togetherly we will give as a one question for 5 marks for the practice purpose. As soon as you listen the particular question for the particular day, please practice. And after this concept, I am going to start your first lab program. That is not in the sequentially. With respect to this particular chapter, 2 lab programs are there that I am going to give you. As in the class itself, I have told you in the first year. First, whenever you got the program, please by heart it. Practice, practice, practice and keep it. Second year, you are executing the programs without seeing the book. Without seeing the book. Once the classes gets commenced, continuously we are giving a lab for you to execute. So we are not giving a time for the practice. Please remember, once I give the program, you just practice and keep it. Okay students, and recollect every day, revise it every day. So whatever the program you have been practice, you practice and keep it. Continuously 1 week we are going to give the lab for you to execute. So there is no more time to spend 1 day execution, 1 day preparation. Don't. So and I am not going to allow you to seeing and typing in the lab. Please remember, practice and keep it. And this is also an important question. Either explain the defining a member functions in the classes question with syntax and example. If they give inside the class, this much only. You need to write this one in the sentence format. That means defining a member function inside the class definition like a normal function. And write the syntax and write this much only an example. And write one more output function. That's all. Then come to your outside. Defining a member function outside the class using scope resolution operator. How we have been done? Syntax, return type specifier, class name, scope resolution operator, function name. Function name. Yesterday we have discussed the program, right? The same program. See here, this part will not be there. Instead of that, what will be there? Input data, and it is terminated by semicolon. It is terminated by semicolon. Example I am explaining now. Then another function, void output data. Output data. So these two functions declared inside the class. What we did? Declaration inside the class. Declaration of member function. Member function. Where we did? Inside the class. Defining a member function outside the class. Now I am writing the continuation of the program. Return type. What is the return type I have used? Void. Yes. Void is a return type. Then what is the class name for this class? Student. Yes. Class name is student. Then what is required? Scope resolution is required. Scope resolution is required. What is a member function? What is the first function? Input data. Input data. Is it required a termination here? No. It is a definition. Body of the function is required. Whatever you have been written yesterday, the same thing, write it here. Cout, enter S number and S name. Scene, S number, S name. Got the student? See, except this yesterday we have written inside the class. With this membership identity label, we are writing outside the class. Defining outside, declaration inside the class. We have a question. How we have been done? Declared the member function inside the class and we have defined it outside the class with the help of scope resolution operator. How we are identifying? With the help of class name. What we are identifying? This member function belongs to which class. This will allows you to use the local variables. That means within this class scope, what we have been defined the local variable, we are using globally as a outside the class. As a outside the class. Did you got it now? Then we are writing for the output function. Similarly, the return type is void. What's the class name? Student is a class name. Scope resolution operator. What is a member function? Second one, output data. Output data. Yesterday I have given in the video. What is that? Yes. Cout S number equal to the value present in the S number. Endel S name equal to the student name equal to the value which is present in the S name. No need as a endel. This is terminated. This is class definition. This is member function definition for input data. Member function definition for output data. Where we have done? We have done outside the class using scope resolution operator. Same void main. There is no change in the void main. There is no change in the void main function as it is copied out. Student, I have created one object name called obj. or if you want yes also can take CLR, SCR, obj dot input, obj dot input data, obj dot output data, obj dot output data. Then get CH. If you want to execute, add the header files. What are the header files minimum you require? Hash include iostream.h, hash include conio.h. That's all. Your program is ready only for outside the class. Only for outside the class. But I have given in the class work togetherly as a single program. How I have been done? I'll write it here once again. I'll write it here, students. I'm not disturbing your this one. Class student private int yes number character yes name. Then whatever it's there here now, this I will define inside the class. How I will do in inside the class. Public void input data. Input data. I am defining here only inside the class. Cout enter S number, comma, S name. No place, so I am not writing a complete sentence. Cin, S number, S name. Then another function. What is another function? Void output data. I am not writing a definition of this one inside the class. Rather than that, I am terminating and I am closing the class definition. This is inside the class. Inside the class definition. This is declaration inside. This is definition outside. A single program contains inside as well as outside. There is no change in the main function. There is no change in the main function. Did you got the student? Now, a complete question is there here for 5 marks for both inside and outside. Defining a member functions done in 2 ways. Inside the class definition, outside the class definition. Inside the class definition done like a normal function. What is a normal function syntax? Written type specifier, just a function name and argument. Function name, argument contains the body. This I have been implemented here. Did you got? Then, outside the class, defining a member function outside the class using scope resolution operator. Before defining outside, what you need to do? Declare that member function inside the class with the termination. There is no body for the output function. One with body that have been done inside the class. Without a body is nothing but declaration inside the class. That definition done outside the class using scope resolution operator. Did you got the students? Once again recollect your syntax. Written type specifier, class name, scope resolution operator, function name, within the parenthesis argument. Repeat the syntax. Written type specifier, class name, scope resolution operator, function name, within the parenthesis argument. Below that, body of the function enclosed within the flower brace. Okay, this program I have given in the classroom. both the explanation with the syntax and one example for both. If they have given inside, write the same example. If they have given the outside, write the same definition. You no need to specify what is what. By seeing the scope resolution operator, they will give the marks for outside. By seeing this, they will give the marks for inside the definition. Hope you understood the today's class. So today we completed different ways of defining the member function. Tomorrow we'll start program number 6 according to your lab program series, program number 6. Once you get the program, and please practice it. We are not allowing in the lab by seeing and typing. Without seeing, you need to execute the lab program. Thank you, students.